Matt and I are getting ready to go on a marriage retreat this weekend with our church. We're pretty excited about it. This is actually our first marriage retreat that we've ever been on, believe it or not. We've been married since 2011, but we've never gone on a marriage retreat. So I'm pretty excited. Little man's gonna stay with grandma and we should have a good time. We're gonna totally vlog, do vloggers hotel tour. It's our one chance to do it. Here we go. Act like we're coming into our room for the first time.
Okay.
So we made it. We're at the hotel. We made it. Is it picture or you want to do video?
Hey guys.
Day 2 of marriage retreat.
Yep.
Matt and I will have been married 8 years coming this May. It's kind of interesting to tell our story of how we met and how we came to be. We met each other at work. Our first impressions were not the greatest. He walked in, I was working, I had just gotten the job there. I had worked there before I moved out to Los Angeles, and then I got the job again when I moved back, and so I was working at this place and I had never seen Matt there as an employee, and all of a sudden he comes walking in normal clothes, comes behind the cash register and is looking at the schedule, and I'm like, excuse me, can I help you? Because I had no clue who he was. So his impression of me was that I was some spoiled brat, and I thought he was some stuck-up jock. So our first impressions weren't that great, but we got to know each other working on the job, and I was pretty impressed with his work ethic. We ended up hanging out. I invited him to an event at my church that I was helping out. At that event, we went out afterwards, and he began to share his dream and part of his vision and what he wanted to do with his life, and come to find out it was very similar to what I wanted to do with my life, and opening a youth center and having a youth center. One of my friends was with us at the time, and I remember after Matt had left, leaning over to my friend and saying, I'm gonna marry that guy, which was a ridiculous statement after only just meeting him and really the first real conversation that we had had. It's pretty crazy, but that's how things turned out. We got engaged pretty quickly. We got engaged within 6 months of dating because during that time my dad was dying from colon cancer, and so he wanted my dad to be a part of everything. But I thought since we went on this marriage retreat, I would just share with you guys some things that I have learned. I'm definitely not a pro in relationships, but here's some things that I've learned. And this isn't just for married people. This really can apply to all relationships. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is a lot of times we tend to focus on the negatives about people, which I struggle with this. I can tend to be kind of critical, something I'm working on. But especially in marriage or family relationships, we tend to think about all the things that the person is doing wrong, or we think about all the things that the person doesn't do, and we just kind of dwell on those things. And one thing that I have learned is to try to shift my thinking and not so think so much on what everyone is doing wrong, what my husband's doing wrong, what they're not doing, but to focus on the things that they are doing right and celebrate the things that they're doing right and encourage them in those areas. Because, you know, a lot of times most people are doing a lot more right than we give them credit for, because we're so stuck on that one negative thing or that one bad thing that they are doing. The other thing that I learned early on in marriage, which has helped in a lot of relationships, is knowing that you can't change someone. I know that a lot of us hear that, but I don't think a lot of us really believe it to be true. We still try to influence and change people, but we really can't. That's up to that person, that's up to God. And there's a lot of freedom that comes from really realizing that and understanding that it's not my responsibility to fix this person. It's not my job to change them. And I encourage you guys to really try to embrace that lesson, because it will help with a lot of relationships. And it takes the burden and the pressure off of you. You can just enjoy your life and be yourself, and then you just trust God and surrender the change that you want to see happen over to God and not worry about it, because it's not your job. And you can't, as hard as you try, they won't change. I'm sure there's a lot of other tips that I could share about marriage and relationships, but those two are the ones that I want to leave you with today, because they are huge. They are big ones that really, as I grasp them, have really helped my relationships, understanding that if I just focus on the good things and celebrate the good things and realize that it's not my job to fix other people, it just helps me to love them more authentically. So that's it for today. My name is Crystal Keim. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to put a comment down below and share this video. Be sure and like it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got great things coming up, and that's it for today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye. Retreat with our church. Already? We're getting ready to go on a marriage retreat with our church. This is actually our first. Stop it! Oh my goodness. This might be a bad idea.